Hey guys, Perry here, and welcome to the third and final video in my Cosmic Exploration Week 1 series. This video will cover how to be most efficient at grinding your crafter relics. You can find links to my previous videos on the Gatherer grind below in the video description. Just like the previous two videos, this video is being made early in the content, before the moon bases are finished being constructed. While I'm confident my recommendations are a competitive method now, it's possible that faster methods may be found as the content evolves. Keep an eye out. Additionally, the information in this video is intended for a player whose crafters are fully leveled and in the current highest tier gear with melts. Here's a screenshot of my stats page. If you don't have similar stats to these, some of the macros and advice you see here might not work for you. Be careful. I'll include a link in the description to the Teamcraft melding guide if you want to get to this point before tackling these. With all that said, let's get into it. Crafting in Cosmic Exploration is a bit of a different beast than Gathering. While the Gatherers are restricted by location, needing to run all over Sinus Ardorum to complete various missions, Crafters have no such restriction. Additionally, there's no GP management or recharge time to consider. If you watch my Gathering videos on this subject, you may remember that one of the key points in our strategy was to cycle missions out in order to repeat the same desirable ones, both ensuring efficient mission choice and avoiding travel time. For Crafters, this won't be the case. While there are some particularly high efficiency missions, in my experience it will cost more time to cycle missions out trying to cherry pick than it's worth. Instead, we will focus on completing a wider variety of A-rank missions. The top ranked missions provide a better rate of relic data than even their best B-rank counterparts, so unlike Gathering, we want to avoid spending time on these where we can help it. Up until you unlock the A-rank missions, I recommend just filling out the log with missions you haven't completed yet. There isn't much else to do for it, so we just need to bite the bullet here. Similar to Botanist and Miner, all of the crafters have carbon copies of each other's missions. The mission names and crafted items change, but the rewards and the stats on each craft are identical. Even the mission list order matches. As a result, the method we choose for one crafter will apply to all of them. The one exception to this copy-paste rule of thumb is the hybrid missions, ones that use both a gatherer and a crafter. Some crafters have Botanist and Miner as their gathering partner, and others have Fisher, which will differ in rewards and time efficiency. However, as you will see, neither types are outliers in this regard, so they will not affect our overall strategy. So, let's get into the details. Each class currently has a total of 11 A-rank missions that are normally available. Of these 11, I would classify 2 of them as high efficiency missions that we want to prioritize, and 2 of them as missions we want to avoid due to being unreliable with macros. The remaining 7 vary a bit in terms of efficiency, but they can be macroed to ensure their reliable completion. As I mentioned earlier, crafters don't need to travel anywhere or spend time between missions recharging GP. Because of this, trying to cycle out or skip these missions will cost more time than you would save by sticking to the high efficiency ones. These 7 middle missions will be used as filler when neither of the 2 best missions are available, or if you need to farm specific datasets. Now, this is a lot of information to retain across 8 crafting classes, so I did what any reasonable person would do in this scenario. I made a spreadsheet. You can find a link to this sheet in the description below. Feel free to make a copy and use it as a reference for yourself, and to use the macros that are linked in there. This spreadsheet is designed to serve as a visual to help align stellar mission names with their corresponding data. If you make a copy of this sheet, you can edit the drop-down as shown to change the displayed mission names for your desired crafter. This will show you my recommended metal target, the 2 possible macros that will complete the mission, and my notes for any finer details that might be relevant while you're completing them. Similar to some of the Gathering missions, some missions are more time efficient if you aim to get a silver star instead of the max rank. Keep an eye out for those when using the sheet. As you can see, there are up to 2 macros for each mission. Which one you use will be determined by your preferred crafter food, either Ronique steak or Kavish. When you click on the link to one of the macros, you will be brought to a Teamcraft page like this. Look for the button on the left that says Convert to in-game macro, and click. This will bring up the macro text in 2 parts, which you can then copy into 2 macro slots in-game. The macros are credited to Faye Faya of Balmung, who made the original spreadsheet these came from. There's a link to their sheet at the bottom of my sheet, as well as in the video description. The macros shown in my spreadsheet are for the high-tier Teamcraft meld set, using the stats I showed at the beginning of the video. If you are a crafter in the mid-tier Teamcraft meld set, you can find a set of macros that will also work, as well as the requirements in Faye's spreadsheet, shown here. Faye's spreadsheet is an excellent comprehensive resource that will be updated further as the content evolves. I created mine simply to remove some of the data that I felt wasn't necessary to aid the viewers of this video and to help with visual clarity. In addition to this spreadsheet, I also made a one-off visual cheat sheet if you prefer that format, seen here. You can find the link to this image in the video description as well. So, I will do a few missions here as an example to show how to use the sheet. However, before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the macros and how I recommend organizing them. Since the macros are going to be recycled for several missions each, naming them after items or missions doesn't make sense and will make it hard to keep track of which macros go to which piece. Instead, we can use the item stats to organize and put them in the macro title. For example, we know that high burn charcoal for carpenter and workers sheet metal tools for blacksmith use the same macro. This is because when we look at the item we need to make, it has the same three stats: durability, progression, and quality, which all match up exactly between the two. So, if we name the parts of this macro after those stats as shown, the next time a mission appears, we can simply look at the stats on the item we need to make and find the right macro from our hotbars. Now that that's settled, let's do a few missions as an example. Alright, we're here on Leatherworker. We're going to check what data we need. We see that we need data 4, data 3, and data 2. So we'll plan accordingly. Looking at our cheat sheet, we see that Research Plant Rug and Thermal Leather are the two high priority missions. And we don't want to do work pouches or rest facility materials. You can see Research Plant Rug and Thermal Leather are both available to us, so we will choose one of those. Since we need data set 3 and 2, I guess we'll go with Research Plant Rug. Make sure we eat our food. I'm going to be using Kavish for these. That's what my macros are set up for. And we'll get in there. Open the recipe. We see that our durability is 80, progress is 9900, quality is 20,300, so we are going to choose the macro accordingly. Let's see, it's this one here, 89,900, 2,300, and we go. You can see that I have my macros organized in pairs here. 1 and 2 are the icons for what order they are in the macro set. Each macro is 2 parts, so part 1 is the 1 icon, part 2 is the 2 icon. Okay, so looking at our spreadsheet, we know that this mission is recommended to get a silver star on. We could use the macro to make another one of those and get a gold medal, but we're going to stick with the silver because it's more time efficient. So we'll just report this and turn it in. And move on to the next one. See, we have new missions available. Research Plant Rug and Thermal Leather are 2 high prio ones. We can see that they're not here. We want to avoid work pouches because that's on the avoid list. So any of the other 3 are okay for us to do as a filler. We know we need dataset 4 and dataset 3, so we'll do base supplies 1. We could do this one, but it gives us dataset 1, which we don't need, so that's why I'm not choosing that. And I'm not choosing lunar tanning agents because that only gives dataset 4, and that also requires a botanist. So that we would have to leave this area to go to the botanist gathering area and do that. So we'll stick with this one. This is our best option here. So start it up. Look at the item stats. We see we have 40 durability, 6,600 progress, 12,300 quality. So we're going to find the macro that goes with that. It's the first one on the list. 40, 6,600, 12,300. We'll go from there. See, we have to make 3 of these items, so we'll just rinse and repeat for these. You can see we got kind of unlucky on that one. The macros aren't 100% foolproof if you get a poor quality on the wrong step. So we are going to be stuck with a silver star for this one. That's perfectly okay. Not a huge deal. You know, we'll just accept the slightly lower data collection. No need to change anything, so we'll just finish it up normally. Alright, I only got silver. That's okay. Turn it in. Move on to the next one. So, new missions list. We can see that research plant rug is available for us. Work pouches, rest facility materials are the other 2. We want to avoid those. These are on the avoid list. So our options are research plant rug, which is high priority, or high durability leather string. We need both of these data sets still, I believe. Yep, we still need data set 3 and 2, so we'll just do the recommended priority mission. We go from there. Again, 80 durability, 9900, 20,300. We find that macro on the list here with the same name. We go from there. Alright, this one's done. Again, this one has a recommendation of a silver star, so we will just turn in here. And pretty much does it. And with that, we've pretty much covered everything. I hope you found this guide helpful, and if you have any feedback, feel free to leave a comment below. There's likely to be further updates to this content in the future, so keep an eye out for future videos when the next steps of the relics are released. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.